History of Land Titles in the State of Louisiana Quiz, Part 3. Number 11. When Louisiana became a state in 1812, what lands immediately inured to the state by virtue of inherent sovereignty? A. The two entire townships granted under the Seminary of Learning Act. B. Title to the beds and bottoms of all navigable waters set aside as public highways. C. The 16th section of every township, or D, all vacant federal lands? Answer B. When Louisiana became a state in 1812, not 1 acre of land was in its name, but the virtue of inherent sovereignty, title to the beds of the bottoms of the navigable waters, was set aside as public highways inured to the state. Number 12. The Act of April 21st, 1806, as amended in 1811, set aside which section of every township for schools? A. The first section. B. The 16th section. C. Section 7, 18, and 19. Or D. Section 36. Answer B. An act of Congress on April 21st, 1806, as amended February 15th, 1811, set aside the 16th section of every township for schools. Number 13. What did the Act of March 3rd, 1811, grant as preference rights to individuals holding a valid grant bordering on a navigable river? A. The right to buy an adjoining tract up to 40 arpents in the rear. B. The right to select title to 2 entire townships. C. The right to sell scrip to incoming settlers. Or D. The right to homestead up to 160 acres. Answer A. An act of Congress March 3, 1811, gave preference rights to any individual purchasing vacant land and who held a valid grant bordering on a navigable river or stream. The right was limited to the acquisition of an adjoining tract not to exceed 40 arpents in the rear of their approved grant or claim. Number 14. Under the Internal Improvement Act of 1841, how much vacant federal land was Louisiana granted the right to select title to? A. 40 arpents. B. 160 acres. C. 500,000 acres. Or D. 544 million acres. Answer C. Under Act September 4th of 1841, Congress granted Louisiana the right to select title to some 500,000 acres of vacant federal land under an internal improvement program. Number 15. What was the original purpose of setting aside naval reservations in Louisiana? A. To establish military fortifications. B. To protect live oaks preferred for building ships. C. To preserve cypress swamps for lumber. Or D. To prevent private settlement in coastal areas. Answer B. Other interesting original titles indicate numerous naval reservations throughout Louisiana where an abundance of live oaks existed. The lumber from this type of tree was preferred in building ships of that era. Number 16. What was the main reason citizens banded together to buy small tracts of land, often 10 acres, from the United States between 1812 and 1845? A. To acquire mineral rights. B. To meet property restriction required to vote under Louisiana's first constitution. C. To sell land later to the railroad companies. Or D. To secure military bounty lands. Answer B. Louisiana's first constitution required that in order to vote, a person had to be a free white male who had attained the age of 21 and had purchased land from the United States. Number 17. The Swamp Land Grant Acts of 1849 and 1850 authorized the state of Louisiana to select and request title to approximately how many acres of vacant public lands? A. 500,000 acres. B. 2 entire townships. C. 10 million acres. Or D. 76,556 citizens. Answer C. The Swamp Land Grant Acts of 1849 and 1850 authorized the state to select and request title to any vacant public lands that were swampy in character, resulting in the conveyance of some 10 million acres of swamp lands. Number 18. When did the state of Louisiana cease allowing citizens to the right to homestead state lands? A. 1845, B, 1850, C, 1927, or D, 1962? Answer D. Various state legislative acts allow Louisiana citizens the right to homestead up to 160 acres of state lands. However, all homesteads were stopped in 1962 due to lack of available land. Number 19. When property is adjudicated to the state for failure to pay annual taxes and is subsequently sold by the state, what rights are retained by the state in perpetuity? A. Surface rights, B. Mineral rights, C. The right-of-way grants, or D. The hunting and fishing rights? Answer B. Should the property not be bought at the sheriff's sale, it then sold to adjudicated to the state. Mineral rights on the property so sold are retained by the state in perpetuity. Number 20. What is the ultimate source of title for every acre of land in Louisiana, which must in some written form? A. The state land office, B. Parish tax assessor, C. The federal government, or D. The original French, Spanish, and British grants? Answer C. It is important to remember that title to all property must have emanated from the federal government. Title from the federal government must be in some written form. And that concludes History of Land Titles in the State of Louisiana quiz. Make sure to watch part 1 and part 2, and remember that you are the
surveyor in training!